how I received the path to your best life. And if you are a human person, then I did receive that path. And the worst thing that you can do in your life is not become your authentic self, or to discover your authentic self and then not to live it, or to stay in fear because you don't want to become who you're meant to be in this world, because you were meant to become someone. But then we start to understand there's a science to it as well. There's nothing that's happening accidentally in your life or in our world. It's all energetic. They're all shifts that we're moving through. So the time that we're living in is may seem a little all over the place and chaotic for you, and that's because it was waiting for us to finally say who we are, to remember who we are. We're moving through a generational change, and so it can seem really difficult for you to own your authentic self because you've been bombarded with programming that told you weren't enough, that you didn't matter, that you were wrong, and that your dreams were never going to happen. Those are all the things that I heard. Or that you might be losing your mind. I put that out earlier because that's how I felt most of the time in my life. What is wrong with me? And I will tell you that there is nothing wrong with you. All that happens is that you evolve in your consciousness, and then you decide if you're going to do that. And you have a unique path that you are meant to follow, which is your life plan, because everyone has one. I put out several things, and I wanted you to have this today because I must become completely honest. I did not know that I had done this. And I'm going to tell you a bit of the story because I'm going to produce all of it because it's important for us to know what we can accomplish. You are not limited in any way. And that's the thing that I can tell you because I do know, because I've lived it all. But I wanted to explain how that happened because I didn't know how it happened either. But you have the same ability because everything is consciousness. If you use your consciousness in a particular way, you can change absolutely anything. You just have to be shown how. And I was shown how. That's all that happened. I was shown how, and I wrote it down every single day for 36 years. This is where it started. You have little idea of who you can become. I just want you to please hold that in your head. I started writing in 1989. I didn't know why I was doing it. I didn't know why I was even saving the messages. I didn't know what they were going to turn into, but I just knew I was supposed to do it. I just knew I had to sit down and write them, and I couldn't leave my home until I did it every single day, not knowing what was going to happen. And then I'm moving through every difficulty, every challenge, every horrible thing that a person can experience. And I thought, why am I being punished? Why am I having this horrible life? Why do I keep failing at this? Why is that happening? And then what I was doing is writing down the answers to all those questions. So I have the answers to your question. That's obviously the life that I was supposed to live during this time of great transition in our world. And I published several things because I needed you to understand because I have to change. When we don't change, our lives just kind of implode. That's what happens because we're meant to evolve and become more as individuals, but also as a society. But we can't depend on the society to accomplish that goal, so we have to do it. And then there will be times where we will do something that can be kind of surprising and shocking, and that's what's happened. So I just have to be honest. I didn't know that I had this work because I spent my entire life documenting it and putting it together. You can't bring in a philosophy that's going to change the world unless you've lived it and you can prove that it works. And that's what I had to do, and that's what I've done. But it's proven now. I know who you are. I know your place in the world. These are certain things that we have developed in our consciousness, understanding consciousness in different ways. I developed a different way, which I had no idea was happening, but it happened through Wilhelm. And that was, they were able to give me information, and you can see all of this because it's on the website, Any Advice for Today. If you go through the messages, you can see the order of them back to 2008 because I put them in on one single day. And then you'll see that it tells you a story about how you evolve and how you can think about yourself, and you do it over time each and every day. We all do. But you just decide if you're going to take the next step. And we're all in the place now where we're going to decide to take that next step. Most people will not understand what this is or not going to think about it. So I do not expect people to do this work, but I have to finish it because it's the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. Because it took me through, again, I know people aren't going to do this, but I have to change because there will be certain people who will want to do this. And then also I'm going to partner. I want to see a much better world, and I know I have that work that we can accomplish that. So, but I'm not a marketer. I'm not a person who does all of that. So, but I have to complete all of this work. So what I'm going to do is work with those people, a marketer, a person who can get it out there to many more people, because I want hundreds of people to do this. And that's how I'm going to become rich. Because you become rich in every single way when you can own your authentic self. Because abundance is about energy as well. And I was resisting mine for the longest time because I didn't know what it was. I didn't know that I had developed this ability that no one had seen, that we hadn't seen in our human history. But you are bringing something that no one has seen either, because it's something that's within you. I'm just supposed to bring this work to give it to others so that more people can create more things so the world evolves. That's what's happening. But we're at a place now where certain people aren't going to want to move. And you have to decide if that's you. Because they're holding on to old ideas about the way things were, the way they think they should have been there. That is never the case. We're always supposed to move forward. And so this is why you're seeing the conflict. Certain people want things to erase what we our history basically, and then we can't create something new. And all of this has been written because Wilhelm gave me all of it. And I'm saying to my group this morning, I'm probably going to do a book on just the 2020 messages, when everyone thought that the world was like really in a bad place because of the pandemic. And Wilhelm said that's not what's happening. It was the restructuring, and we're still in it, and it's organized. So I created several documents, and I want you to see them, because it's nothing that I want more than you to understand what you can create with your consciousness. And that is the message that is on the site, anyadvicefortoday.com, and you can see it there. I could not have known that when I first did this. But when you go there and read it, you will understand you have all the power, you have all the ability, and the only thing that happens is that you'll hold yourself back, because it has to take you into the unknown of who you are. And that's what I had to do. And this whole experience was unknown for me because it had never been done. But please check out all the work, and if you or choose to come into the program, please do it now. As I said earlier, I'm only taking a few people at this current rate because it should have been so much more, and I'm going to spend the next year working with those people, because you're going to become the best person you can possibly imagine, because I have that work. And I'm sending this to everyone because I need everyone to understand what this work is, because I didn't know. Everyone who's worked with me, even my family, didn't know. You don't know either. We're always evolving. And the only reason you will not achieve your greatness is because you give up. And I have something now that doesn't let you give up. Check it all out. I'll see you soon.